And welcome back to Sports Weekly on IEMG. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez, talking some high school volleyball right now. And at Indian Springs, it was the best season ever for the Coyotes. Not only did they finish runner-up in the Mountain Valley League, but the Coyotes also went to the playoffs for the very first time and won their first ever playoff match. And for head coach Leo Chrisman, the good news is he had a great team this year, and a lot of those players, a majority of them, will be back next year. So the expectations are growing at Indian Springs. Here's the Coyotes. And now join us here on the program, coming off their first playoff appearance in school history. We've got the Indian Springs girls volleyball squad on the show. Leo Chrisman, the head coach, and a lot of his star players as well. And coach, first off, congratulations, on the season. Going into the year, what was kind of the expectations or the goals for this team?
Well, as far as our expectations and goals, I think we had like a certain number of wins we wanted to get to. I thought we could do really good, at least finish top 3 in league, and maybe sneak into a wild card in CIF. And luckily, we managed to meet and exceed those goals. This team's a special team. We're very junior heavy, so we'll be back next year for sure, and we'll have some loftier goals for next year. I feel.
Now, you guys finished runner-up in the Mountain Valley League. You get to the playoffs. You win your first ever playoff match. What was that feeling like, getting that first playoff win for the school?
Well, at first, losing the first 2 sets was kind of like, okay, let's get those jitters out. But coming back and taking those next 3, these girls never quit. They never give up. They know their skill level. They know what they're able to do on the floor. They played smart, and once that last ball dropped and we got that last point, it was just kind of like an out of body experience for me. Just it was so surreal. It was so nice, and I felt so happy for these girls. They deserve every bit of that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It was Pacific Lutheran, wasn't it? The school that you beat? Yeah. So, Coach, listen, you've got a big squad behind you. Who do you have standing behind you? So you introduce them.
So I have my libero, Victoria Solis. There you are. I have my setter, Amy Farrell, a senior. I have one of my middles, Jocelyn Rosilis. She's back there. I have one of my other setters, Samyak Wampa. Yes, there she is. My outside hitter, who's been on varsity with me since her freshman year, Lanaya Cole. And then I have setter right side, Lamarie Roldan. And then sitting next to me, our junior captain and outside hitter, Giselle Castellanos.
That's awesome. Hey, guys, congrats. If I could just ask Giselle a quick question, because she's sitting right next to you, Coach. Giselle, what was this season like for you? Coach had mentioned, you guys had a great year, but, you do have a lot of players coming back even for next season. Does that get you excited about the expectations for next year, what you guys might be able to accomplish in a season from now?
Yeah, I feel like we definitely accomplished more than we thought we would this year. We always had high expectations for us, and we we could have got farther, but we're very proud of where we got this year. And next year, I know for sure we can get way farther. And I know we now have the confidence of being in CIF. Now we have the confidence to take it farther.
Yeah, going back to Coach, I mean, does it feel different? Maybe even thinking about next year, like, hey, we had so much success this year. What do we need to do to take that next step, to get over the hump? What do we need to do to make sure that we're even better next year? Does it get you excited, though, to start planning and plotting, for next season?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I've been planning and plotting that for the last 2 years. just having this core of most of these players, they were here the first year I started as freshmen. So we all basically started this whole thing together. So now next year being their senior year, I feel like it's going to be so special and so emotional. I already know. But I feel like that extra year of experience, club volleyball in the off season, we're going to do that. that plays a major part in why this program has gotten so much better this year and why I feel like our expectations are going to be so high next year.
Coach, going back to that, having this core group together since you began and took over the program, how you just touched on it, but how important is that just to have the same girls in the program for several seasons so they know exactly what you're expecting from them, and you can see their progression too, like from the freshman year to where they're at right now, like, they've improved, or maybe areas that they still need to improve, like to have them just in front of you on the court for several years. I would assume that, that's the hallmark of what championship teams look like, having that core together, for several seasons like that.
Absolutely. I feel that not only are these girls good players on the court, but they're very supportive of each other off the court. And that team chemistry, that's so huge. There's not a lot of moving parts right now. And I feel like that's a huge part of why our expectations are going to be so big next year and why we've been successful.
Coach, you mentioned club volleyball. So what else? What are some things that you can do? I don't know if you guys get in the weight room at all, but what are some things that you feel like you guys can do between now and, next June or July when you actually maybe do some summer tournament stuff? What are some things that you guys can do to get better?
Gym stuff, plyometric exercises, get their verticals up higher. Just getting as many touches as we can in the off season. Just working on technique, form. Once we get those down, maybe integrate a few more advanced things, which I'm kind of excited to start doing with these girls. Basically all those things. And then next year we'll see what our almost finished product will be. And hopefully by the time we hit CIF, we'll be hitting our stride and going places.
Yeah, that's awesome. Coach, before we wrap this up, I do want to go across the room. I'll start with Giselle and just kind of go left to right around that back row. Just, girls, real quick, it doesn't have to be a long explanation, maybe 5-10 seconds. Just what was your favorite moment, favorite game from this past season? So when you look back years from now and you think about, oh, yeah, I remember that team that won the first ever playoff match for Indian Springs. What are you going to remember? I'll start with Giselle, and you guys can just go right around the room.
I really enjoyed a lot of our games, but definitely my favorites were when we had the reverse sweep. So I think we've had it like about twice or 3 times this year, because it just showed how determined we were to be able to come back from because I know some of us still felt that little disappointment that we were almost about to lose, but everybody still stood tall and we ended up finishing with that win. I think that's the biggest games that were really.
Yeah, reverse sweeps are fun, man. Those are difficult, but they're fun if you pull it off. All right, who's next?
Yeah. Lamari.
One of my favorite things from this season definitely would be, like Giselle said, the reverse sweep and the losses too, because when we came back from losses, it was like, oh, now we're here. Now we're going to really do this. Like, that loss means nothing. Let's get back and let's get right.
Good answer. All right, is it Linnea in the back?
Lanaya,
yes.
I think my favorite, the whole season. I enjoyed the whole season because it really showed us from the whole preseason too, because we were losing a lot in preseason, and we didn't let that take advantage of how we felt during actual season, and we wrecked it in actual season. Like, I loved it. We never had that momentum ever.
That's awesome. All right, to your left now.
Yeah, Jocelyn.
Wait, were we saying our names? No, okay. Well, I think one of my favorite games of the season were playing really difficult teams. I mean, I think it helped us improve and really see what we can be in the future, and what we need to improve on, and where we want to see ourselves. That could be us in the future, and that could be us next year, and that's what I really enjoyed about the season.
Yeah, playing good competition will only get you better. All right, who's next?
Me. For me, well, it's my senior year, so it's my last team playing with these girls. For me, the
one that mainly left a mark was my senior night against AB Miller, because that one where it really hit me like it's my last time on the court. It's my last time with these girls, having this touch with the ball, taking this like every point with them. And then right as we lost someone, but I was so excited when I found out we were on to CIF. It was like, it's not over. We're still here. And then like proving so many people wrong. And then like telling everything about every single one of these girls that, oh yeah, she's like here, she has 100 aces, she gets these digs, she gets those hits. It's just like a proud moment for me to say that I played with these girls.
That's awesome. Very, very special. All right, Coach, whoever's directly behind you, if you could just scoot to the side just a little bit so we can see it. Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Like Giselle say and Amaria, I think my favorite part was the reverse sweep, but also when the people at the bleachers like support us and like cheer for us, especially for these games. I think it was Ramona, and we went to 4 sets, and they were supporting us, and I think they gave us like confidence to keep playing. And that feels nice because like they trust that we will win the game. They trust in us, and that makes me feel like thanks to that support, we're gonna be better and like we're gonna improve.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, one more.
All right, Victoria.
There
You wanna
she
come on
is.
this side?
Which side? This side?
Yeah. come on
There
this side.
she is. Yeah.
I feel like overall this season was a big turnaround compared to previous seasons, obviously, but I feel like just it proved to everyone else like we're gonna bring it up next year, and we're just setting an example for future upcoming volleyball players. You know, I feel like we're the statement of this volleyball program at this school, and I feel like we're just holding high expectations further out now.
Yeah, you guys are definitely trending in the positive direction now after this great season. Coach, ladies, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. We like to celebrate, teams doing big things in the city of San Bernardino. You guys did exactly that in this fall. Again, runners up in the Mountain Valley League, but first playoff appearance, and then first playoff win on top of that. Too bad you ran into the top seed in the next round, but it was a great season. Coach Chrisman, thank you so much. Ladies, thank you so much for your time. Congrats on a great year.
Wait,
All right.
let's all say thank you. 1, 2, 3.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks, Pep. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Great year for Indian Springs. Could be even better next year. Make sure you subscribe to the IE Media Group YouTube channel. My name is Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next time on Sports Weekly on IEMG.